Do you want to die? Of course you don't. No one does. That's why we subject ourselves to the nasty business of regular exercise. Sweating, straining our muscles, squeezing ourselves into unflattering spandex, it's all a fight against the natural order of things, which is, of course, letting yourself go. True, there's no question that regular exercise is good for you, though ultimately futile if your goal is, as I mentioned, not to die. But what about those among us who, due to a pre-existing condition, are unable to exercise fully? What about people like me who are inherently lazy? For those who suffer from benign unnecessary movement syndrome, or BUMS, exercise is not an option. BUMS sufferers lack the gene that motivates them to shut off their PlayStation and get off the sofa. They would like to exercise, but are unfortunately unable to muster the will to change out of their PJs. Some suffer a debilitating inability to show their faces in commercial gyms, especially after that unfortunate incident with the rowing machine and the sanitizer. But for the most part, lazy bums are simply genetically predisposed to remain in their natural state of atrophy. So how are you supposed to feel the burn when you can't even feel your extremities? Thankfully, there's hope. There's hope, and there's pie, and the remote control is within reach. Presenting Exercise for the Lazy. Follow along with me now. No, don't get up. That won't be necessary at all. First of all, it's important before all lazy exercise to stretch. Are you ready? Now stretch for the Cheetos. Stretch for the Cheetos. If you're driving in your car, perhaps heading over one block to purchase, more Cheetos, turn your neck toward the back seat and pipe down, you kids. Turn your neck and don't make me pull this car over. Now that you're lukewarmed up, let's get to minimal work on some lazy exercise. First, shape your hand into the pointing position. Index finger extended. Now we thrust our arm out and point. It's society's fault. And point. You're blocking my view of the TV. And point. Get me more Cheetos. Of course, the purpose of exercise is to work your heart and your lungs. No need to move to do that. Just pull out your municipal tax bill. What? I'm paying that much for composting? And how do I know it's not just going to the dump with the recycling? It's all a conspiracy, I tell you. Can't you feel your heart racing, your breathing getting heavier, face flushed, a sharp pain in your left arm, your loved ones watching with distressed looks on their faces? Now put the tax bill away. Entertainment Tonight is on. Too strenuous? Relax. The only real muscle you have to worry about is the biggest one in your body, your brain. Okay, technically an organ, not a muscle, but by exercising your brain, you can increase your brain power and eventually convince yourself that you're in shape. It's mind over matter. So hit those crossword puzzles and Sudokus. Grow your brain. But not too big, though, because if you grow your brain too big, you might end up tipping over on your spindly body. Alternatively, remember that there's one muscle that never gets tired, and that's your jaw muscle. Most people can talk and talk and talk, and they never grow weary. Exercise your jaw muscle, enter a life in politics, and you can convince others that you're in shape. I could tell you more about exercise for the lazy, but I've been running at the mouth for too long. I've stretched the bounds of truth, and I've strained your patience. Plus, I've broken into a sweat from all this talking. Pass the Cheetos.